Hi, you're not alone. Today, for trance time, we're going to experience compassionate abiding, a breathing visualization activity that helps folks put aside their suffering. How? By breathing it in. Curious? Stick around to find out. Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Dr. David Phillips, and welcome to Trance Time. On Thursdays, I release a new video where we go through a simple trance project, and today we're going to experience compassionate abiding. Now, what is that? What is compassionate abiding? Well, it's a activity visualization that is taught by American-born Tibetan Buddhist nun named Pema Chödrön. And she says that each of us knows what it is like to suffer. Now, despite facing a variety of painful objects or obstacles and difficulties and trials and tribulations in life, people are hesitant to describe their experiences as suffering. It's typically a word we use for really extreme tragedies, war, poverty, death. But Pema Chödrön says that each of us really does know what it's like to suffer. Spiritually, Chödrön uses this word to describe times that are disruptive in our lives, that give us anxiety and despair. And as she explains to others, it can be anything from the loss of a job, to a family conflict, to grades at school having issues or problems. But the common thread, according to Chödrön, is clear: suffering, which refers to anything unwanted that makes you uncomfortable. So, see, you got a lot of suffering out there. Now, another way to think of it is less suffering and more as discontent. So, how can we deal with this discontent or suffering? Through what Chödrön calls compassionate abiding. And she says that we must first accept that what has happened has really happened, and not resist it, not resist the discontent or the action or event, or try to push it away or to repress it. She says one way to handle this is to practice a very simple visualization exercise, and that is you breathe it in. Now, those of you familiar with my work know that I'm a big fan of breathing, and on this channel and my other channels you may have experienced loving breathing or other types of breathing exercises that I have, sometimes very, very extreme and sometimes just kind of a gentle breath. Okay, now according to Chödrön, it says compassionate abiding is as if you breathe the suffering or discontent into your heart, and your heart just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Every time you breathe in, just imagine your heart getting bigger and bigger, so that no matter how bad you feel, you just give it more space. So when you breathe in, you're open to it. You could say that when you breathe out, you just send out a lot of space. So you breathe in that discontent and allow the heart to open with more space. And as you breathe out, you just kind of let go. Now, this exercise opens you up emotionally and spiritually. But it also can initiate what feels like a physical change as well. And that's when intensified imaginative involvement occurs. So sometimes you might want to think in terms of what does your heart feel like? What's the feeling? Is it a fluid or a hardness like a rock? And then as you breathe in that feeling, allow the heart to soften and change and move. Okay, so for instance, if someone were to say, it feels like a knot, that it's as if my whole body has clenched because I'm so miserable, you would breathe in and let the heart open and let the stomach open, for instance, and let the knot open. So here's what you do. You do 6 deep breaths, okay? And imagine that feeling. When you breathe in, you recognize that all over the world, right now, and in the past, and in the future, people are going to feel exactly what you're feeling now. Others have gone through this and are going through this now, just like you. So breathe it in and feel that. So there might be a sense, for instance, a feeling of being rejected. Understand that as you breathe it in, that others have felt that, are feeling that, and will feel that. The feeling of being unloved, the feeling of insecurity, okay? The feeling of fear, the feeling of rage. Chödrön says that human beings have always felt this and always will. Recognize that, and so you breathe in for everyone, that they could welcome it, that they could say, I haven't done anything wrong, and embrace it. Okay? So I'd like you to sit comfortably, and I'd like you to focus on that feeling. So I'd like you to now, as you sit comfortably, breathe in, hold it for a moment. Now breathe out, close your eyes and relax, and concentrate on the feeling of discontent or suffering or rage or fear or anger. Concentrate on that feeling now. I want you to breathe that feeling in and open your heart. And imagine as you breathe in that feeling, your heart opens and gives it space and recognizes that you're not alone. You're not the first to feel this. You're not the last. Others are feeling it with you now. And as you breathe out, just release. And breathe in, opening the heart. Hold it. And as you breathe out, feel that connection with all those others. Embrace the feeling. Breathing in, the heart expanding. Recognize where you feel the emotions and give it room. And feel it release, let go. Breathe out. Breathe it in. Hold it for a moment. Feel now, release. Breathing in, feel the heart expanding. And release. Breathe in and release. Once more, one more. And release. Let go now, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. In a moment, I'll count from 1 to 3. At the number 3, your eyes open, you're fully alert. Your head is clear, feeling, ooh, that's interesting. 1, coming back to the here and now. 2, stretch watching M3, eyes open, feeling. How's that feel? Now, I hope you've enjoyed this experience and it's been helpful to you. You can always listen to the video again and go through the process. Of course, it's a very simple process, so you'll be doing it on your own without the video very, very quickly. Just remember 6 deep breaths, breathing in the discontent and opening the heart, giving it room to just be, and then release. On Tuesdays, we have news, what's going on in the trance community, or ranting. Sometimes I rant. On Wednesdays, well, that's tips, tricks, and questions. I answer your questions. So be sure to comment and ask a question. Thursday's Trance Time. That's where I guide you through a simple trance experience just like this. Once a month, we have a seminar or a webinar, a lecture of some sort, and that's typically through my web pages at briandavidphillips.com or one of the affiliated sites. I hope you'll click subscribe and join us. Check out the web page. There's lots of cool stuff there. But mostly for now, I'd just like to say this is Dr. Brian David Phillips saying, live, trance, and prosper.